year, one of my biggest goals has been to prioritize myself and take better care of myself and give myself the love and care that I deserve and so freely give to everyone else. And I've done videos similar to this in the past. I did a video towards the beginning of the year where I tried working out every day for 30 days. I'll link that up here in case you're interested and down below. And so I thought that I would kind of talk about some of the most common ways that I have truly changed my life this year and started making myself a priority and number one on my own list. And I feel like a lot of amazing things have come as a result of that. I've actually gotten quite a few comments from people saying things like, I seem like I'm glowing this year, or I seem like I'm so happy, or what's changed. And honestly, like all of the things that are in this video, this is truly what I have done to absolutely change the way I live my life. And it's been really, really helpful. And if you feel like you're in a place where you don't feel like you're taking the best care of yourself, or that you're really letting your needs slide, this is for you. And hopefully this will give you some inspo and just the encouragement that you need to place yourself at the very top of your list. So the very first thing that I would say has made a huge difference in my life is therapy. And I know that there's a conversation to be had about accessibility to therapy. It's not very affordable. The American healthcare system is kind of an absolute joke. So I'm fortunate enough that I can qualify for therapy under my partner's health insurance. Otherwise, I would have to pay for my own health insurance. I have paid for therapy out of pocket before. It was very expensive. But therapy is, becoming increasingly more talked about, which I think is wonderful. I've been in therapy on and off since my parents' divorce when I was like 9 or 10 years old. And I think therapy is such a beautiful tool because even if you're not into like woo-woo stuff or talking about the brain or feelings or whatever, having a therapist is dope because you can literally just like talk about your problems and like they listen and they give you advice. It's kind of great. And as someone who's a talker, like I need to talk it out. Talk therapy is huge for me. I know there are other forms of therapy for other mental illnesses, disorders, traumas, but for me, talk therapy is so helpful and it just makes me feel so much more grounded. I once saw an image online that basically described going to therapy as having this like ball of yarn, this tangled ball of yarn in your head. And when you go to therapy and you kind of talk it out with your therapist is sort of like unwinding it and like neatly putting it back together. And I think that's such an awesome way of describing it. Like I just feel like so many things in my life have started to make sense and fall together and click since being in therapy. And most importantly, beginning the stages of healing for myself from trauma that I experienced in my childhood, addiction, abuse, etc. And really getting to a place where as an adult, I am healing those parts of my inner child and I am sort of reparenting myself, because although none of those things that happened to me were my fault, it's my responsibility now as an adult to get my shit together and really kind of heal those past parts of myself, those broken parts of myself or those wounded parts of myself. And it's been amazing. And having someone that I can talk to about that, who understands, is non-partial, is non-biased, and non-judgmental is really healing. Like I can't recommend it enough. There are places within different states that do sliding scale therapy, so you can get therapy based on your income. And I would encourage you to also just like reach out in your area. And even if you don't have a therapist you can talk to, if you have like someone that you love and trust, who you feel like you can confide in, just getting it out has been so helpful. And honestly, like when people are like, you have this glow about you, what is it? Like your highlighter? And I'm like, no, my therapist. The next big thing for me has been exercise, or joyful movement as I like to call it. I have done a total 180 when it comes to my relationship to exercise this year. Do you know what really annoys me? Is that it turns out if you exercise, you feel better. All those things that they say about it helping your mental health and boosting your endorphins and feeling better overall, it's true. It's actually true. I hate to admit it. It's become something that's like a part of my daily routine. It's something I look forward to. It's my me time. It's something that fills my cup. So I've been really kind of diversifying how I exercise recently. I've made YouTube videos on this in the past. Joyful movement is like a huge part of my life, which if you haven't heard of the term, it's a term that I learned that essentially describes working out as a way to celebrate the fact that you love your body and not punish it because you hate it. Now I'm gonna cut back to previous me from like a few days ago and we'll get more into it. It's the end of a long work day. My eyeballs hurt so bad. I have been staring at my computer screen all day and I am really feeling like like getting some movement in. And so today I am going to be doing one of my new favorite workouts. Recently, I've been using an app called Copilot. If you haven't heard of them before, they're like the best fitness and health habit building program. I have been really loving it so far. And it's not just an app, it's not just a personal trainer, it's a lot more all in one. And so they essentially help you build healthy habits day by day through coaching. And I love it. I love my coach. She's so sweet. We're very well matched. I've never once felt judged. I don't have any equipment. I don't have any access to a gym, and she still creates an awesome program for me that's like manageable for my lifestyle. Doing little things like drinking water and going outside and grounding myself barefoot for 5 minutes, like little health building habits that have made a huge difference. I've been personally doing the workouts for a few weeks now, and I just feel so strong after them. And I love that my coach is constantly checking in on me and telling me that her goal is to have these workouts make me feel strong and powerful. And I just think it's like so important to focus on that. And I've noticed that in a short amount of time, they've gotten a lot easier in the sense that I'm not like struggling so much. Like my first one was definitely tough, but I feel like I'm just getting better and stronger as I go on, which I love. I really love the approachable aspect of it, and just that like whatever you can do today is great. This is the only fitness app that I have ever encountered that doesn't focus on weight loss. I just love it. And what's cool is that over 75% of Copilot users have stuck to their routine and their habits and their journey for 100 days, which I think is awesome. So if you're interested in checking out Copilot, definitely click my link in the description box below. I'll have it on the screen here as well, and you can get 14 days for free with your own expert health and fitness coach. I couldn't recommend it enough. And it's just been such an awesome thing to incorporate into my exercise routine, and I've been feeling stronger as I go along. I love it, and I will definitely continue to add this in as part of my exercise routine. I've become obsessed. Next is a big one, and this is boundaries. Boundary setting is not always easy for people, me included, and if you are also a recovering people pleaser like myself, then setting boundaries can sometimes be a nightmare. And I feel like there's a lot of talk online about setting boundaries, but not really how terrifying it is, and sometimes the negative reactions you can get from people who either don't respect your boundaries or try to challenge them. Like there's a lot of work that comes with it. But one of the biggest and most important boundaries that I have set for myself this year is professional boundaries. Boundaries at work. I have never done that before. It's a totally new concept to me. This is obviously going to depend on what you do for work, but for me personally, I have started taking weekends off, which is something I quite literally never did. I really try to put a heavy focus on like clocking out at the end of the day and separating Carrie the YouTuber from Carrie the person. So I'm only answering business emails during normal business hours. I am, not responding to comments when I'm watching TV on the couch. I'm not replying to hate comments anymore. I'm not really reading my DMs that much anymore. These are things that I have put in place that have only protected me in the long run. And they've only made me happier and healthier as a result mentally. And they've given me the ability to have more capacity when I come into this space and be more of my authentic self and less of like a drained, kind of sad, defensive version of myself or whatever it may be. Like I feel much more centered, and like it's really wild how it can consume you. Work can totally consume you. I am a Capricorn, so I understand how that goes. And sometimes I have a hard time shutting off because I don't know how to not be busy. Like I don't know how to sit still. That's a whole thing I'm working on, ADHD problems. But implementing boundaries in my professional life, in addition to my personal life, have been so helpful. The personal life ones, I'm still working on a little bit harder, but I think it's a work in progress. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm this like whole healed person. Like it's definitely a journey, but boundaries are key. Another thing I started doing was nourishing myself. And I'll be the first to admit that when the pandemic hit, pretty much at the end of 2019, like my care for myself just totally started going out the window. All sorts of different stressors were going on in our lives, and I got into a pattern where I was ordering Postmates like 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, sometimes 3 meals a day. And I became, not only was it just a total drain of money, but also it made it so that eating was just super robotic for me and I wasn't paying any attention to like nourishing myself at all. And food is nourishment no matter what. Like there's no good food and bad food, but I have noticed that when I do things like eat more vegetables, like incorporate more vegetables into my meals, it helps me feel better. Definitely more water. That's been a big one. Drinking more water has been huge for me. I have a reminder on my phone every day to drink more water. It's a form of self-care in a way, you know? And I know food is a tricky subject to talk about, and by all means, eat whatever feels good for you. I'm a big believer in intuitive eating and food freedom and believing that you can eat whatever the you want. But I have noticed for me personally that when I do incorporate more fruits and vegetables into my diet, I feel great. And I still order Postmates, by the way. I love McDonald's, but just incorporating more instead of taking things away has been hugely helpful. Another thing that truly, I mean, I feel sad that I haven't really done this consistently until my, almost mid-30s, but doing things for myself has been a game changer. I have in the past had extremely codependent romantic relationships where I didn't really have a life outside of whoever it was I was dating in the past. And whatever their hobbies were became my hobbies. Whatever free time I had was spent with them. Whatever energy I had was given to them. Whatever love and care I had was given to them. And there really wasn't a whole lot left for myself. And so really up until the last few years, and especially this year, have I decided to just start doing things for myself, like reading. Like taking myself on a hot girl walk, like getting my nails done or my lashes done. It doesn't have to be physical things either. It can be journaling, it can be taking up a new hobby, learning an instrument, whatever. I think additionally for a long time YouTube was my hobby and then my hobby became my job. So then it really didn't leave any time for hobbies because then it was my full-time job and I was kind of doing it around the clock. So just having me time, like going in the backyard, sitting in the hammock, reading a book, filling up the stupid little kiddie pool that I bought on Amazon and getting some sunshine, making myself a cool snack or something that I saw on TikTok has just made a huge difference, and it's just made me have some time for just me. I feel like I'm making up for lost time that I missed for so many years giving so much to others, and I'm starting to pour it back into myself and it feels really good. I'm not gonna lie. Next, I will briefly touch on this because I feel like this is a huge part of it for me, and that is letting go of lingering friendships. I actually did an entire video on surviving adult friendship breakups, and I want to say that we don't have time for lingering friendships in 2022. Like, you deserve nothing but the best, and to surround yourself with people that you don't have to question where you stand when you're with them, or wonder if they're mad at you, or not get any kind of communication about how they feel, or just someone who never hits you up in general. And by all means, like, everyone has their own stuff going on. Nobody owes you anything. But I have really paid attention to how I feel deep down when I leave hanging out with somebody, and that really tells you everything you need to know. If you leave hanging out with someone feeling insecure and questioning yourself and not great or anxious or whatever, it's probably a huge sign that that friendship should maybe not be in your life. And I have had quite a few friendships in my life that I've felt like I've hung on to because of the history. Maybe I've known them for a long time, or maybe we've had amazing memories together, and just freeing up space for people who are down to hang out with you and do fill your cup and make you feel supported and heard and understood. All of those amazing qualities that you would, look for in a friend or that you offer in a friendship. Making room for that has been amazing. The next two kind of go hand in hand. The first part of it is only saying yes to things that I actually want to do, which I'm still working on. I feel like a lot of these I'm still working on. But I have been really guilty in the past of doing something because I'm afraid to say no to the person. I'm afraid that if I say no that they're going to be offended, or that they're not going to invite me places anymore, or that they're going to think I don't like them. Okay, my camera battery died, that was weird, but I have finally, at 34 years old, come to terms with the fact that I'm an introvert. I like being at home. I'm a homebody. Simply put, I do not have the same social battery that most people I know have, and that's okay. I get extremely overwhelmed very, very easily when it comes to social plans. Like, if I have more than one thing on the books for like a month, I'm stressing. That's not entirely true, but I really have started to accept that part of myself instead of trying to change it and wear myself out by trying to see everyone and say yes to every single plan and dare not disappoint anyone, and as a result, it disappoints me. Like, I have a 0% battery at the end of it. I will continue to work on this with myself because people pleasing, man, whew, that is the rough thing to recover from. And the other half of this goes along with saying no to things. Feeling more comfortable saying no. Yeah, I've got to work on this, like I said. It is actually so remarkable how much more energy and capacity you have when you just say no to things that you don't want to do deep down. And the last one is just continually encouraging myself to be more gentle in how I speak to myself. And that's probably the biggest one of all. Learning how to kind of shut out that really, really nasty negative voice in your head that is full of self-doubt and self-hatred, all of these really, really nasty negative things that you would literally never dream of saying to someone else, but you feel totally comfortable saying to yourself. I've tried to reframe it, and therapy has actually helped with this a lot, but imagining when I'm saying those nasty things to myself, that I'm actually not me, that I'm little me, that I'm like, 3 to 7-year-old me, the little curious, goofy, fearless kid who was weird and cute and literally did whatever she felt like doing, and imagining myself saying the things that I'm saying to adult me to that kid actually breaks my heart, and that's something that's really helped me a lot, because I would never dream of saying something like that to her, but her is me, like I am her. That's so weird. Really kind of learning how to be more gentle with the way I speak to myself has made a huge difference in my confidence. I will definitely need to continue working on it. I do have imposter syndrome. I know that that's kind of become like a buzzword, but I actually do have it and really feel like I don't belong in spaces or always question where people stand with me or whatever. But changing that sort of internal voice has really made such a difference overall just in how I operate in the world. So that is probably the most important one of all. And I probably could go on and on and on. This video is already probably very, very long, so maybe we'll do another part 2 to this sometime in the future, but I hope this helped. I really hope that you feel seen and understood and know that, like, by me saying that all of these things have helped change my life, it's still a work in progress. I am still working on it, very, very much so. It's a journey. So if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can also turn on my post notifications if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. Don't forget to check out Copilot, as I mentioned earlier. All of the information will be linked down in the description box below for you. I am sending you all of my love. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you hopefully very soon in my next video.